I got a call from Jay Dilla. He's like, Madlib is killing me right now. I said, really? He's like, yeah, man, like, he's going where I want to go. He does little nuances and tricks in his music that, like, that I know only I get. Like, even if I were to play it for you, it would go over your head. Madlib is talking to me and only me.
Purest, the greatest, musicians come out of that environment. Also, just the struggle that we deal with in those environments, where you're fighting, you're fighting for your freedom, you're fighting for your economic equality with your talent. That's all you got. There's no other chance right there. And, that pressure bust pipes, you're gonna, something great. A rose is gonna grow out of that concrete. Dilla was definitely one of those roses.
I'm talking some business, you know what I'm saying? This is on some career shit. Let's do it, niggas.
Oh, Jackson over there right there, man. Oh, Jackson Jr. That's all I do. Word up.
One time, that's all. That's all,
I kind of introduced Madlib to Dilla. It's funny, I introduced Dilla to Madlib through the Loop Pack album, and then I introduced Madlib to Dilla, and Wolf and Madlib came out for the first time, and we were all in the studio.
That's Madlib, the beat conductor.
House Shoes was there, rolling up the blunts, you know what I mean? My man walked in with the SP in the snow, Jay Dilla.
I gotta explain it.
Okay, come on, man.
I hooked up with Madlib because I love his work.
How did you do this?
It's like, I'm gonna tell you.
Start from the beginning, man.
Yes.
Come on.
I hooked up with Madlib because I love his work.
Yeah.
Bought his records. When I first heard Loop Pack, went crazy. Okay, who's this cat?
So,
I actually got in touch with Madlib, flew him out. Let's do an album or something. Let's do an EP or let's just mess the industry up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hook up like that, do it and really do it.
Madlib really looked up to JD, and JD looked up to Madlib too. So it was this real weird awkwardness when they met.
Yeah.
They were in the studio.
Yeah.
And then House Shoes is passing weed around.
Dilla's never been influenced by somebody so strongly as he was by Madlib.
Then you see Detroit, not just with Oxnard, but with the West Coast. Dilla did a lot of West Coast sounding things. Something about Detroit and West Coast sounds did well in the Midwest, but in Detroit in particular.
There are no labels like Stone's Throw in Detroit. There's no entertainment business there. We all had to look elsewhere to find somebody to actually put our music out. Thankfully, there is a guy like Peanut Butter Wolf.
That J-Lib project just turned out to be something like it's a hip-hop monument.
Yeah, come on. Whoa, it's Frank Nitta in the place to be with JD to the L-I-M-L-I-B. So let me see you touch the sky.
Madlib and Dilla got together and started challenging each other super hard, and Dilla moved to LA.
This bitch, we raised the stakes up a little bit and shut shit down. Tone could have told you the clone shit is over.
You need to put your hands up, that's what you need to do. Plus niggas got gang like the PS2. It's Thackeray, Marvin.
Dilla perhaps might have been a bit more of a scientist, perfectionist, and Madlib might have just been a bit more crazy.
This motherfucker, we are in this motherfucker.
As soon as he got out here, he loved LA. He loved it. It was I think a breath of fresh air for him because, no matter what, when you at the crib, when you in your hometown, everybody is around usually. And that could be, obviously that's the foundation, but it's certain times, if you're the centerpiece, then a lot of it is just, everything is dependent on you. It's better to get away sometimes, just to kind of reboot yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, direct from
At the Los Gatos, Southern California.
It wasn't like, damn, these Detroit guys did it again. It was like, this is us.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You know, he's moved here for a reason. It's because he believes in the energy of California. He wants to be in the sunshine and the warmth with all the positivity and all these people that are really like loving what he's doing and loving what each other are doing and really like sharing and it wasn't so dog eat dog. We weren't like Silver Lake, Echo Park, Eagle Rock, Hollywood, Venice Beach, Santa Monica. No, we were like LA. This is LA hip hop. We all, you know, Compton, Watts. We were all just in it.
Anyway, he came out here, and I definitely felt his energy being up. We would go get records and give him records, and he'd just be at the crib. We ended up moving to a place in like near Hancock Park, an apartment that I stayed in for a long time. And man, I would get up in the mornings and man, go to the kitchen, and then he in the dining room making beats. I was like, I mean, there's nothing better I could dream of.
I met Jay Dilla at Common's crib, just down the street here in LA. They were staying together. And I just remember looking at that MPC and thinking like, those drums came out of that MPC. Like, you know, arguably the best drums in hip hop history. And just remember just vibing with him and having so much respect and just wanting to work with him more. Dilla, every time, it's like that kick just sat so perfectly. And like his swings, his shuffles on his beats, his snare choices, the way he samples shit, it was just like, it just sounded like, felt like drugs. I mean, his music just sounded like good pussy.
Get up in it, start her up, get a watch star, roll her up, big wheels, Cadillac
Come back, shine to J-Live in the circuit. Let's do this track live right here. 104.9 London's XFM. All city people.
Turn it up, live and direct. Brand new. Yeah. Turn up another notch. Another notch. What? Yeah. Holla. Get it. Popping off from the bottom to the collar. Clap hands, y'all. Get live with the party with the man, y'all. It's the official. Hands in the air, let me see the wrist glow. Turn me up another notch in the system. You said you want the hot, then listen. Mad Lib and JDZ doing it like we doing it for. And you don't want to change your dial. World premiere, rearrange your style. What?
You know, it was a real like quality time of making music for them too. And I definitely seen why the quiet power within them was able to connect and do something great.
So we'd been working with Jay Dilla for a while, and you know, I asked Madlib, who else do you see yourself working with outside of our immediate crew? And he said, MF Doom.
Yeah, the whole mask thing, really, it's a time in hip hop where things, from my point of view, started going more to what things look like opposed to what things sound like.
So nasty, and probably someone on top of humanity. You call them people, she calling me the majesty.
The Mad Villain album, that's just almost as close to perfect as you're gonna get for a hip hop album. You got Madlib at the top of his game. You got Doom at the top of his game.
And you know I know that's a fucking snow. But keep the soul butter, keep the soul butter.
That's like one of the purest hip hop albums you're gonna hear because Doom focused so heavily on the rhyme scheme and on what he's doing with the rhymes. Madlib focused so heavily on what he was doing with the samples. It was just like this super pure, unfiltered, raw focus on that Mad Villain album. That's just untouchable.
He's always in the bomb shelter, and I'm always up on the deck writing, right? And then he'll give me another CD, I get the CD, and I'm writing, you know what I'm saying? And then he's back in the bomb shelter, so I would hardly speak to him.
We knew that we had to put him up in a hotel and stuff while he was out here, but he always ended up just staying over our house.
Yeah, they had a little mini mansion up on the hill. It was a pretty big crib, though. It was a lot of space in there, you know, overlooking the hills, so it was a good Good place to work at, you know what I'm saying? Real quiet up there.
They say he accosted the man with the sliced wig. Allegedly, the investigation is still ongoing. In this pesky nation, he got the best con flowing.
I'm really curious because, you know, you've been hanging out with one of the guys that we all consider, you know, one of the best producers in the game, you know, and in the game from independent to commercial, whatever. Has he influenced your, you know, way of thinking about beats at all?
Oh yeah, O just got me back into the whole, like, fun part of it, you know what I mean? Like until then, I didn't really have a partner. Now I feel like I found my partner, you know what I mean?
Nobody knows anybody 100%, and Doom's pretty eclectic, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us musicians are kind of in our own world and our own thing, so we only expose what we want people to really know. I'm sure there's layers to Doom that nobody's really gotten to. I'm sure there's parts of himself that he doesn't even understand.
You know, I knew that he had lost his brother and music collaborator, just like how I had lost Charisma. And I went, you know, probably like a year or so without even mentioning it to him. When the subject kind of finally came up, you know, he really opened up to me, and it made me feel a lot closer to him.
Anybody in here could wear the mask and be the villain. Male, female, any race, so-called race, you know what I mean? It's about where you coming from your heart, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is the message? What you got to say?
Wreak havoc, beat beatless, mad traffic, sleek and lavish, people speaking, leaking to the maverick. He see it as just another felony drug arrest. Any day could be the one he picked the wrong thug to test, slug through the vest. Shot in the street for pulling heat on a father who babies gotta eat. And when they get hungry, it ain't shit funny. Paid to interfere with how brother get his money now. Who's the real thugs, killers, and gangsters? Set the revolution, let the things bust, and thank us. When the smoke clear and you can see the sky again, there will be the chopped off heads of Leviathan. My friend.
I knew his style, he knew my style, and we meshed them together. And we didn't talk about it. It just happened. I go make my beat CDs, and he'd be up in Wolf's room sleeping or something, and wake up and do a song. I'd wake up and he'd have songs done. The only thing we did together was a lot of chocolate shrooms.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Egon Stone's Throw, all the way from Los Angeles, California. Here with the Mad Villain Tour, record release parties, featuring superstars like Madlib, Peanut Butter Wolf, J-Rock, special guest Jay Dilla, of course, the metal-faced man, MF Doom himself. And we're about to go check in with the fellas.
By this point, Dilla is like our Dalai Lama. All of it. He is our spiritual leader.
I love you. I love you.
What Donuts represented was like, you know, the return to old soul loops and old Motown breaks and that stuff. I mean, that's where hip hop was. It was like the post-Blueprint era. You know, Jay-Z had rhymed over a lot of these, well, they would call them like chipmunk breaks because Kanye would put them on 45 or whatever. But it was basically like cats rhyming over these old soul ballads on 45. And I was like, this is almost like your answer to that. Like, okay, you know, a lot of you cats are bringing back the soul records, but, you know, I'm gonna show you just one more time how to do it. And I was like, yo, man, it's almost like you were sending a message out there to all them beat makers using soul records that, you know, like, I'm gonna show you how to do this, right? And he was just like, you know, like he would never take credit for it.
His mother told us stories about how when he was a little kid and he used to just walk to the park with 45s on his wrists. Like he would carry 45s like bracelets, 45 records on his wrist. He wanted to go to the park with them on his wrist. That's what would make him happy, so he was born into this music.
Okay. There comes a time
JD had gotten sick, and it happened when he was overseas. He felt something going on, and when he got back here, you know, he been diagnosed with something like a rare blood disease.
It kind of became public that he was sick and he was in the hospital not doing good.
I just remember seeing him looking that way, just like he was already on borrowed time. And I couldn't even look him in the eye, you know, because I had a feeling that he wouldn't want anyone to see him like that, you know.
He always bounced back. And when I saw him in the hospital, you know, like, and I remember one time I picked him up from the hospital, like he called me to like take him back home. Like you know, that was like a huge celebration, and like in the wheelchair and everything, putting the wheelchair in my car, and he usually always bounced back.
I'll say I was in denial at that point, but then James started filling up, and he instantly walked outside, and I was like, oh God, this is goodbye.
Yeah, say it, say it, say it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Yo, it's a blessing to be out here right now, bringing you this celebration.
That's what it is, y'all.
From the D, I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna let my peoples. Make some noise if you're feeling me out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, time at the Regal. Young man went out and made a name for himself. He's been on every record-breaking show in the Regal Theater in the last 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, the star. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
When Dilla passed, everything changed. He was like the Coltrane. When Coltrane was there, everybody tried to follow what he did. Then when he died, motherfuckers didn't know what to do.
I give to you. Make some noise for JD. I give to you.
We felt like we had, you know, lost one of the greatest. You know, the people that I seen at the funeral, you could just tell that he had touched a lot of people.
The music stopped when Jay left.